Robyn Banks and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, you want to hit that subscribe button because this channel is full of tea, drama, and story times. And I'm a chick from Brooklyn. Everybody loves a chick from Brooklyn, and that's on period. As you guys can see by the title, it's another story time. I told y'all I'm back on my story time shit. Y'all might get some other type of videos here and there, but y'all know what y'all come here for. Story times. Y'all come for tea. Y'all come from drama. Y'all come for the mess, for the mix. And I'm going to keep rolling out the story times again because I feel like this is the only type of videos y'all want from me. Y'all mixy. Y'all love mixy videos. So as you guys can see by the title, this is about a time somebody's wife called me, and this is a part of my little celebrity interaction series. I don't know what to call it. And I told you guys about little Chico stick in my last video, but the sake of this video, we're gonna call this particular person Jamal. Now if you happen to figure out who Jamal is, please keep your comments to yourself. I mean, y'all gonna comment regardless because I told y'all that last video and y'all still was name dropping, but go ahead, y'all can name drop in the comments, but just know I won't confirm or deny who this person is because I don't want the drama. I don't want to be on nobody's shade room, teen shade room, and I don't want to get violated or sued by nobody artists because I ain't got no money. I'm poor. This is for entertainment purposes only, okay? Not drama. Okay, now like the rest of my story times, this story is a little bit old. This happened in 2016, and I'm gonna try to find the screenshots. If I find them, I'm gonna put them in the video, but I don't know if I have all of them. One thing about me though, every time I got some tea or some drama, some mess, I screenshot it and I email it to myself. And I'm so happy that I was doing that back in the day because now that I'm doing story times, it's just like so helpful with my stories because I know I want y'all guys to have the visuals, the screenshots, record of a conversation, so y'all know my stories is real tea and not cap because I know y'all tired of seeing people cap on this YouTube shit, and I want to keep it 100% authentic around here. Like I said, this was around 2016, so I used to be on Twitter heavy in 2016. I'm still on Twitter heavy, by the way, but I used to be active on Twitter because around this time, I believe my Instagram, I was not popular on Instagram. I had like a small following and a private page because I wanted to lay off the grid for a little bit, and I was traveling back and forth to LA around this time. Now that is another story time for another day. Why I was always in LA, we probably gonna get there in another, cover that in another story. But in 2016 I would travel back and forth from New York to LA to New York, and being that I was in LA, I was like kind of showing off like, yeah, I'm on the West Coast, so I will always have my location on when I tweet. Now I don't know if me having my location on when I tweet is how this person found me on Twitter, because I never had a big following on Twitter. I was never like mad popular on Twitter. I just had a small page, just like I had a small Instagram, but I was tagging, you know, everything that I was doing, tweeting everything I was doing, and it would say Los Angeles, California. And one day I woke up and I had a blue check in my DM on Twitter. Now at this time, like I said, I was very off the grid, so I was kind of confused about how this person with this blue check was writing me. And the page with the blue check was a labels page, which was weird to me because it was a popular label, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly who was writing me, being that they was writing me off of the labels page. Now in 2016, this was a major label, a major name in the industry, like they had the buzz going. So I'm over here trying to pinpoint which one of these motherfuckers in the label is writing me off the label page. Now I'm thinking it's probably the CEO, because my stupid ass, I'm thinking only the CEO is going to be running the label page. So I was mad geek, like, oh, I got the top of the top, nigga. Now, when they DM'd me on Twitter, they just straight said, what's your number? Like, straight up, what's your number? I'm going to see if I could put the screenshot here, but they wrote me like, what's your number? And I responded in a heartbeat with my number. I didn't even question it. I didn't even think. I didn't ask. I didn't say, oh, who is this? Which one of y'all? None of that, because in my head, I automatically thought it was a CEO and not the artist. So I'm like, I sent that number ASAP. Like, shit, blue check in my DM. I was a bird. I'm sorry, I was a bird. So I sent my number ASAP, and they text me and they like, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? Who's this? Because you DM'd me off of the labels page. I don't know which artist this is. I don't know if it's a CEO, whoever. I don't know if it's the person that's in charge of the social media. Like, I really don't know who is this asking for my number. I just sent my number, not even thinking about it. And they responded and they was like, this is Jamal. So for the sake of this video, we just gonna call the person Jamal. So they're like, this is Jamal. Now, Jamal at the time, he was up and coming artist. I don't want to give too much details about location, because in my last story time, I try to keep my details to a minimum, and y'all still was trying to figure out who it is. So I'm gonna keep it even more to a minimum. At the time, he was popping. He was up and coming, I would say. He was up and coming. He didn't have a hit song that like everybody would know, but if you were familiar with his music, you were familiar with his music. He wasn't super mainstream, but he was up and coming, okay? So I was fake excited because I knew like 1 or 2 songs or 1 or 2 features he had done at the time, and I didn't even know that he was really affiliated with this label. I seen him take pictures with the other artists on the labels or do shows with the other artists on this label, but I didn't even know he was signed to this label. So when he said the name, I was like, oh, okay, what's up? Don't get me wrong, Jamal was cute or whatever, like he was fly and shit, but I never really took an interest to him. Like I told you guys before, it was never really an artist that I was fangirling over ever. Like I would think, oh, okay, he's cute, but I was never like, oh my god, like obsessed with any rapper or any artist for that matter. And if we thinking about people to be obsessed over, Jamal was probably like low on my list. I wasn't even thinking about him, but I was fangirling because shit, somebody that has a little buzz to their name trying to get me attention. I was trying to get saved out here low key, I ain't gonna lie. So as the days going by, Jamal and I would text, but it wouldn't be nothing super consistent. We FaceTime one time and I took a screenshot. If I could find that screenshot, I'm gonna post it. Wait, can I do that? Because then I would have to block out his face. Yeah, I might not do that. But we would text back and forth, and I started to find out more details about Jamal and what he was into. First things first though, he was G in my head. I ain't gonna lie, he was gassing me bad. Like he was gassing me up bad. When we first started texting, he would say, oh, like I'm going on tour, I want you to come with me, I like you a lot. And he would ask me like, oh, how long you in LA? Because I'm not in LA right now. I'm doing a show in Miami, but I'll be in LA from this date to this date. But it would never match up with the time I would be there, because like I said, I would be back and forth between LA and New York. So we made plans that when he comes to New York, he's gonna link me, or if I'm in LA and he's in LA, we're gonna link. We're gonna go on a date, we're gonna hang out, and I'm over here like, oh, all right, he up and coming. So as the time was going by and I was talking to him, he was getting more and more. But now Jamal was around my age. Like he's like 1 year, 2 years older than me, right? So the last thing on my mind was me thinking that he was attached to anyone or had kids. And if I'm not mistaken, I definitely asked him if he had a girlfriend. But you know, what nigga in the world ever admits to having a girlfriend? Maybe now in 2021, but in 2016, it was very hard to get anyone to admit that they were in a relationship. And the way that he was talking to me, it was giving me like he wanted me. Like he was giving, oh, I'm gonna take you on tour, we're gonna do this and that. So like he was definitely gassing my head up. And now that I'm older and like know how this shit work, it just makes sense now. When you're an up and coming artist and you got a little buzz to your name, you're gonna G bitches. Like I don't know if it's just me. Like I feel like when you been in the game, you don't gotta G nobody head up. You don't gotta sell no dream to no bitch, because bitches know who you are. Your clout is up there. You don't gotta do no false pretense. Bitches gonna come to you off rip. But I feel like because he was getting some buzz to his name, he was trying to impress me with the, oh, I want to take you on tour, I want to fly you out, like gassing me like that. And he was feeling himself because he was getting a little buzz around his name. I'm not gonna lie, this was not a situation where like it was with Little Chico Stick. When he was telling me he want to fly me out and he want to take me on tour, I was ready to go because I'm older now. This was not me in high school, 11th grade, 12th grade. I can't figure out how I'm gonna tell my parents no. This was grown me. I'm traveling on my own. So listen, if you need me to fly to Miami to see you, if you want me to go on tour, we out. Like I'm out. Like I'm thinking I'm really gonna get saved by Jamal. And like I said, as time was going on, his buzz was coming, and I'm like, okay, I'm at the right time in his career, because you know I'm not there when he's already like big, but he ain't little. So it could look like I came up with him, you know. So it's like I'm talking to him and I'm like not acting like I'm chasing clout. I'm being very laid back. I wasn't chasing clout, but I was being very laid back. He would talk about what he's gonna buy, what stores he's shopping at. I would never ask for nothing, because you gotta know how to play the game. So you know, I was being real chill, being, oh, I like you, you know, I like your vibe. He would send me some of his unreleased music and I would be like, oh, this shit bump. And I would be so hyped to tell my friends like, Jamal just sent me this song. It's not out yet. Don't give it to nobody. And like play it for my friends and play it for my bros. Play it in the car. Like feeling like, you know, I was feeling like a rapper wife. Because you know, when you a rapper wife, you get the unreleased. Like, and I really believe that Jamal was feeling me. He was digging me. And I was liking him too. Mind you, we wasn't even on some talking every day, FaceTiming every day. It was regular conversation. But I was getting gas because when he would talk to me, he would tell me like, sell me all these false dreams, fake hopes, fake dreams about how he gonna buy me a Chanel bag, how he gonna fly me out, how he gonna take me on tour. And I was fake eating it up because it's like, why you want me? Like, I told you guys, this is me as a glow up. I was fake dusty back in the day. So when I would have these little interactions with people that was big, I would be like, what you see in me? Because I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody in my city either. So it's like, why are you looking for me? It got to a point where the interaction between me and Jamal started to fade out, but I wasn't pressed, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't fiending, because I know when you an up and coming artist, you got hella bitches, you got hella hoes, and on top of that, I couldn't really see us being in a solid relationship or anything like that, because one, we ain't never see each other. Two, he was moving around a lot. He had to go here, do all these shows. And three, I don't know, it was just like, I felt like it was just giving gas. Like, he was telling me he wanted to do all of this, but it wasn't really no pressure behind it, because he ain't never really sent me no money. He ain't never say, oh yeah, here's some money, get your nails done. He never really stepped. He was just doing a lot of talking, but he never really showed me he was serious. And like I said, it was never working out. Every time we were supposed to meet up, if I'll be in New York, he'll be in LA. If I'm in LA, he in New York, or vice versa, or he'll be in Miami. So it's like our schedules weren't clicking. So over time, it started to give distance between us. But my friends would be like, oh, you bugging, you need to be on him. Like, he was telling you he liked you, he was calling you baby, like, you need to be on his back. You don't let that slip away. So I would try, anytime I feel like we not communicating, I would try to press on it, but I didn't want to be looking like a dick rider or a groupie hoe or anything like that. So it was a time where I feel like Jamal and I hadn't talked in a week, and I was telling my homegirl like, oh shit, I ain't texted Jamal in a week. And she like, oh, text him, see what he doing, because I believe he had posted that he was in New York, and at this time I was in New York. So I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna get the chance to see my rapper husband. That's my husband in my head. So I texted Jamal and I was like, what you doing? And my phone started ringing, FaceTime, and I was ignoring the call. Because I looked busted in my bed. Like, I sent that what you doing text. I looked crazy. I was laying down, headscarf on, just scrolling with my blanket, texting him looking dusty. So you cannot FaceTime me unexpected. It has to be an appointment. I gotta have some lashes, some brows on. I gotta look decent to FaceTime anybody. So I started ignoring. And second of all, he ain't never do nothing like that. Like, he never FaceTime me out of nowhere. He'll just be like, I'm about to call you, or call me, or something like that. So it was just weird. So I declined the call and I texted. I'm like, I'm on the phone, I'm gonna call you later, but what you doing? Because I see you in New York. And he responded, LOL, who's this? So I'm like, so I responded, what you mean, who's this? I'm like, it's only been a week, you deleted my number? And he responds, LMAO, I just can't remember who this is. Where did we meet again? That was strange to me. Like, it was very strange. Like, I know you got a lot of hoes, but if I'm somebody that you was fake talking to frequent for this amount of time, I feel like by now you would know it's me. Even if you didn't have my number saved, you would know my number. Even if you deleted our thread, you would know my number. You get what I'm trying to say? But I understood that sometimes things happen. You know, people lose their phones, get new ones, like shit like that, where you can easily forget. But the whole LOL, where did we meet, was weird to me. Because it's like, what you mean where we met? Like, what? So I'm like, we never met. Thinking that would help him remember it's me. But my phone started ringing again, calling back to back, and I kept declining. I'm like, I'm on the phone. Like, I'm gonna call you back. Why are you calling my phone down? It was just weird. So they responded to the text, and I'm saying they because at this point I kind of figured out it wasn't Jamal. It was somebody fishing to figure out who I am. So I'm like, why you keep calling? I'm on the phone. Like, I'm gonna call you back. And the person responded like, answer the phone right now, I'm trying to figure something out. So I'm like I can't answer right now. I'm like, just text me later because you're being weird, because that was weird to me. But at the same time, I started to feel like, oh, maybe this is one of his bitches. Like, maybe it's his girlfriend and she found out that he talked to other people and she trying to fish, you know, like trying to go through the phone, trying to have the woman to woman conversation, trying to figure out where he met me at, what we did, but we ain't never did nothing. So I'm like, you're being weird right now. So I get a message that says, this is his wife, we have 2 kids together, please do not contact him anymore. And that shit hit me all the way off guard. I'm like, hold on, what? His who? His wife? So I'm thinking like, maybe his wife, like wifey, you know, people be like, oh, wife. But then she said 2 kids, so it's like his baby mama. But at the same time, I didn't even know he had kids. I swear to God, on all his social media profiles, he never expressed that he was in a relationship, for one, or that he had children. And on top of that, fuck being in a relationship, he never expressed that he had a wife and 2 kids. On top of that, he was like around my age, like I said, a year or 2 older. So at that time, I was 19, 20. I was not expecting me talking to a upcoming rapper that's what, 21, 22, to have a wife and 2 kids. Like, when did you do that? When did you start? Like, when the fuck did you even get married? He didn't have no sight of relationship, a wife, or kids. But I also know that sometimes for the image, you know, when you're an up and coming artist, sometimes the labels don't want you to express your love for your significant other because they feel like you're more marketable single as a single man. So I'm like, okay, maybe. But at the same time, it was just like, I never would have thought in a million years this nigga would have had a wife. And on top of that, he ain't never mentioned that to me. And it started playing in my head like, nigga, you telling me you about to fly me here, take me on tour, do this. Where was your wife gonna be at when all of this was happening? Your wife with your 2 kids? So when she texted me that, I just never wrote back because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is some weird shit, right? So a few days passed and this nigga texted me off the number and he was like, what's up? And I'm like, huh? Like, you tell me what's up. And he like, what you mean? I'm like, bro, somebody text me from your phone saying that they're your wife and y'all got kids, and I was just taken aback, so I never wrote you back. And you know, this nigga never wrote me back after that. He literally ghosted me. Like, we never had a conversation after I texted him that his wife texted me. I feel like he probably like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, she's on to me. She knows. He never responded. I guess, like, what was he gonna say to that? He wasn't gonna deny it. And for years, I would meet people and we would have conversations. I'll be like, oh, you know that artist so-and-so? He has a wife and kids. And they would be like, no, he does not. Like, what? Like, what? He don't got no wife and kids. And I'm like, bro, yes, he do. Because nobody ever knew that this artist had a family. Like, you would never look at him and think he had a family at all. Now, fast forward some 4 years later. I mean, I guess him and his wife was going through a divorce, or him and his wife was going through something, and then it was publicized on the blogs that he was married. And lo and behold, people were in the comments like, what? He got a wife? Like, nobody knew he had a wife. And his wife was someone that had like her own following, because she had her own shit that she was doing. I'm not gonna give specific details because y'all gonna figure it out. But y'all probably gonna figure it out anyway. But still, I ain't gonna give specific details. But people did not even know this rapper was married to this person. I'm just gonna call her IG. I'm just gonna call her Instagram influencer. Nobody knew he was married to this Instagram influencer, and they didn't even know that he had kids. So I wasn't the only one shocked. This was like a secret to him. Meanwhile, on her Instagram this whole time, she was like claiming him. She would low-key promote his songs and shit, but you had to, it was like, if you know, you know basis. I guess people in the industry knew, or people that was close to them knew that they were married, but for everybody from the outside, you would never put those 2 people together and have them married at that. Yeah, that was the time. That was the time someone's wife called my phone and let me know they were married. And that hit me off guard because at 19, 20, I'm not expecting someone's wife to contact me. Like, maybe a girlfriend, maybe a baby mama, but wife. Like, I would never think in a million years that a rapper's wife would be calling my bum ass phone or texting my phone trying to figure out if I'm messing with her man. And I'm just so grateful that it worked in my favor that I didn't even end up meeting him or anything like that, because it probably would have been even messier, to be honest. I probably would have got a little bit of feelings. I ain't gonna cap, because he was gassing me up bad, like through the messages. I don't know if he was just gassing me so that I could link him, and you know what rappers want out the situation, or if he really was into me. But imagine if he was really into me and we really linked and it got somewhere. The whole time that nigga would have been married and I wouldn't even know. Married with kids at that. 2 of them motherfuckers. Like, I would have never figured in a million years that he would have been married. My ass would have been grass. I would have been on the blogs. Everybody would have been violating me like, he's a married man. Like, I'm so glad I dodged a bullet and it worked out where we weren't able to see each other. So that is my story time. Y'all want more story times, more mixy drama story times, leave a comment down below. Matter of fact, I want y'all to leave a comment down below if you ever had someone's wife, I mean literal wife, W-I-F-E, with a ring and paperwork, contact you or come to you as a woman, or if you're a wife and had to come to someone as a woman, because niggas ain't shit at the end of the day. Like, I feel like we all experienced that, but I really want to know y'all stories down below. I like reading y'all comments in response to my videos. And like I said before, if you figured out who this is, keep a comment to yourself. I might start deleting comments now. I didn't want to do that, but y'all just make the shit hot and make me not want to spill no tea, because y'all over here playing guessing game in the comments, even though I told y'all to hold it down. Like, y'all want me to get violated so bad. I don't understand. I thought y'all fucked with me. But if you like this video, tell a friend and tell a friend, hit that subscribe button, because we on the road to 50K. And from 50K it's 51K, 52K, 53K, 54K, and from there it's up in the stock.